We're traveling today from Minneapolis to New Orleans. No, from Minneapolis. Wrong trip. We're traveling right now from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. We've picked up Megan from college. Say hi, Meg.
Hello.
And here we are. And we're driving into the airport. And Megan's going to find my prepaid parking pass right now. I highly recommend that you always prepay your parking and pre-book your parking. I always snap a photo of where we park. So I have it. Thank you, sweetheart. It is very, very cold right now. It's below zero. But we leave our coats in the car because we don't want to take them to California. But thankfully, because of my disabled parking permit, we're able to park very close to the doors. Just right there, outside these doors. When we come back, our coats will be freezing. But they warm up pretty quick once you put them on and turn on the heat in the car. And yes, that's right. We have 5 suitcases. T for terminal.
It's
okay. We just bought Ben this nice new hoodie.
It still has the tags on it. But it was so freezing, I just had to put it on.
Yeah, we just bought it at LL Bean at the mall. The reason we have so much luggage is because it's not that warm in Los Angeles right now. And Ben and I learned on our last cruise that the Mexican cruises out of Southern California, it can be quite cold. So we're packing fairly, pants, sweatshirts, and then all of our nice evening wear for like dresses and nice clothes for dinner and stuff. So that stuff all takes up a lot more room than shorts and tank tops do. Can we make this one? Nope. Okay, so
You're gonna replace them like every week.
yeah. I asked the Delta representative a question. It would cost us, we get one checked bag free, but our second bags would have been $40 each. So we're just gonna carry these 2 on because they're smaller. But she pointed out to me something I hadn't caught that we are Sky Priority. And so she gave us these little yellow things.
They're just sitting right now.
Oh, they're sitting there. Oh, they're right there at the back of the kiosk. But we get Sky Priority, so we get to board earlier too. So now we're very happy to see the airport is not busy. TSA is less than a 5-minute wait. Yay. Okay, we just went through security. Now we're stopping at the bathroom. We always go to the bathroom after we go through security so we can wash our hands. Who else feels that way? Okay. Also, my shoes never feel right after I go through security. I wish I could bring my slip-on Skechers, but I don't want to walk around in my slip-on Skechers when I travel because they don't provide enough support. So I want to bring my shoes with laces. I just don't really have enough space in my luggage to bring both. Who else has this problem? Okay, did you? But you don't have a slip-on pair. Ben has a question. Ben asked about Clear.
I didn't ask a question. I was sitting. Why?
Just say what you're saying.
Why is there more people in the TSA for the thing?
This is a very good point. We walked right up. We went in the Sky Priority line. We walked right up. There was no line at all. The airport is very quiet right now. The TSA pre-check line didn't have anybody in it. The regular security line had maybe like 3 people in it. But the Clear line was really busy. Why is there so many people in the Clear line? I feel like they're pushing it to try to like sell it to people. Okay, we have gotten to our gate. It's very quiet at the airport. And Megan was just asking a couple of her friends that were here for flights yesterday, right?
So it's like this, it's the same now, and it was like this yesterday too, apparently. And supposedly this morning, there are absolutely no lines, not for TSA or anything. The airport is very dead, and my friend who flew out yesterday said there was only like half the amount of people on her plane that could have been. Like the plane was half empty, and it looks like that could be the case for us as well.
Yeah. All right, so we just had an interesting experience going through TSA security. The first part, if you're not aware, if you've never flown before or haven't flown in a long time, there's basically 2 steps to getting through security. First, you go to a TSA agent who looks at maybe your boarding pass, maybe not, your identification. If you have a mask on, they will ask you to lower your mask so they can match your face to your identification. We got through that. We walked right up to that guy. We got through that very quick. I was holding all 3 of our passports, and sometimes they won't. They want everybody holding their own thing, but he's like, you got everybody's passport? And I said, yeah. And he's like, I'll just take them all. And so we got through that very quickly. The second part of security is your stuff. So if you will, the first part of the security is you, and the second part of security is your stuff. So that's when you have to put everything in the bins or on the, what's that called? The conveyor belt, yeah. Here at Minneapolis, you put everything in a bin, including our carry-on suitcases, your shoes. I really have to remember to get a TSA pre-check. The problem with TSA pre-check, I mean, like right now, we don't need it. We have Sky Priority. We don't need TSA pre-check. You know, why should I pay for something that I am getting for free anyway, as far as standing in line? The one thing that would be a really nice thing, and I know some people get it just for this, about TSA pre-check, is that you don't have to take off your shoes, you don't have to take off your belts, you don't have to take like your laptop out of your bag, stuff like that, some of those things with the stuff part of it. So, but here's the problem. I keep thinking I need to get TSA pre-check. When I think it is when I'm in the security line for TSA at the airport. But then we go on a whole trip and then I go home and I forget. So, and the other thing is TSA, you still have to like get fingerprinted and do a whole bunch of stuff. And I think we can only do that here. You know, I should find out if we can do that at our small airport that's near us. There is a small airport that's close to where we live that only flies does it only fly here or does it only fly to Chicago?
I think it only flies to Chicago.
Yeah, you can only go one place from there. We never fly out of there, but I'm wondering if we could get our TSA application processed there. I don't know, does anybody know, can you do it at small airports or can you only do it at certain places? What exactly is the whole process of it? Let me know in the comments. Okay, well anyway, it would be nice not to have to take off our shoes, especially because I really hate taking off my shoes. For whatever reason, no matter how good I think I put my shoes back on after I go through security, they never feel right after I go through security, and it basically bugs me the whole flight. So, okay.
It's just disgusting.
What?
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, and it's gross. It's gross to have to take off your shoes and then stand in your socks on the dirty floor, and it always freaks us out, doesn't it, Ben? When people don't have socks on. Ew. How do you do that? Go through there barefoot? Yuck. I couldn't do that. Anyway.
Don't wear sandals or flip-flops.
Yeah, don't wear sandals or flip-flops when you're going on a plane.
I'm sorry, if you're wearing sandals or flip-flops in this weather.
Yeah, this weather. It's like 10 below outside right now. That'd be crazy. Okay, well anyway, my bin that had my backpack, my purse, and my shoes in it got pulled for additional screening. When I got up there, the TSA agent who was opening up my stuff and looking through it was my backpack. And I said, I'm sorry, it's probably my camera equipment because I have my electronics bag in the bottom of my backpack. And he said, no, it's something else. He said, it looks like maybe a book. It was. It was my novel that I'm reading. I'm reading a preview copy. It's not fully published copy yet, fully edited copy of Susan Meisner's new novel, Only the Beautiful, which is not being published until like April or May or something. But I won a preview copy from Goodreads so that I could do an early review of it. And it was in my bag, and I don't know why that caught their attention.
Because it's a preview copy.
Yeah, because somehow from the X-ray they saw it was a preview copy.
It's not real.
Right? It's not a fully published book. You can't take this on the plane. I don't know. But anyway, he was very interested in the fact that I was reading this and was asking me about the author because he used to work at Barnes & Noble, the TSA agent. And so he was like sitting there chit-chatting with me about my book and was very friendly and very nice. And once he flipped through it and saw that there was nothing else in there, he just tucked it back in. He's like, okay, have a nice day. But then Megan's extra suitcase, so one of our extra suitcases got pulled aside for extra clearance too, and this was an oopsie mistake on Megan's part, and she does know this, but in her packing haste, and we didn't know when we took these extra 2 suitcases if we were going to be checking them or carrying them on. and Megan had her contact solution, a regular full-size bottle, which what are those, like 8, 9, 10 ounces maybe? So more than the liquid allowed through on a carry-on. You're not supposed to have more than 3.5 ounces of liquid. And, you know, as soon as she saw, right, as soon as you realize that's what it was, you're like, oh shoot. I was just glad they let it go. They didn't take it away, because that would have been bummed, because then she wouldn't have had any contact solution. But he tested it. I didn't even know they could do that. He actually did a pH test right there on the liquid.
It was really weird. He did a couple things and I couldn't quite follow what he was doing. I was just telling my chemistry nerd friend about it because she was like trying to break it down. First he like wiped the outsides of the bottle with this little brown strip of paper.
He was probably checking for explosive residue.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
And
Because that's why we have the TSA liquid rule, is
yeah,
because
I know.
someone, yeah.
I know. And then he took the little pH stick out, and I don't remember if he actually, like, I think he did. I don't think he did actually. No, what he did was he held the pH stick above my contact solution, and for a second it almost looked like it was on fire.
Oh, weird.
Like something,
Some kind of chemical reaction?
there was some sort of physical chemical reaction when he squeezed the bottle a little bit and some air or liquid came up and was visible for a second as it hit the pH stick. And then he set the pH stick down, put another different type of liquid on it, right on the counter there.
Like
And-
comparing them?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
He put the pH stick down on the table.
yep.
Put a different type of liquid on the same pH stick, and when it turned whatever color, he was like, okay, all good.
And then he put it back in
Yeah,
your
he put it
suitcase,
back in
and
my suitcase.
he put it back in and he closed it up. I saw him, and so he let it go.
Yeah.
So who knew? Sometimes TSA does science at the airport. I never knew they did stuff like that. So that was really nice. Now, okay, for the safety of your eye health, did he touch his finger or the pH stick to the tip of your contact?
No, not at all. And he also had rubber gloves on.
Cool. Okay, so we don't have to worry, because you should never, like, if you don't know that, if you wear contacts, you should never touch anything to the tip of your contact solution, because you can get bacteria in there and get an eye
He
infection.
was actually being careful to touch only the sides of the little top nozzle.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, cool. Because if he had, then we probably would have had to throw the bottle away anyway and get her a new one somewhere. So that would have been a bummer.
It's a pretty new bottle too.
Yeah.
What? It's California, not like other countries.
Yeah, true. It would have been harder to find in another country.
Soviet.
Yeah. But so we have a little time now, and so that was kind of a fun little adventure. So the first part, like, it looked like it was going to be really quick going through security, but it actually took a really long time, because not a really long time, but longer than expected, because we both got something pulled for additional screening. And you know, I kind of do wonder if when it's quiet like this, they do that more just because they can.
Yeah, they have time.
Yeah, they have time to check more things, and so they almost might use it as like a training opportunity, you know, so that they can test themselves and see how they're doing, because they have more time to do stuff like that. Just a thought. So anyway, now we might get a little something to eat, although a lot of stuff is closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben wanted to get Cinnabon, and the Cinnabon just closed right in front of us, and all the coffee places are closed. So if you want Starbucks or Caribou Coffee here in Minnesota, just know that after, like, in the afternoon. Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just there's not many people here, so it's not
We've
worth
run
it.
into that problem before, like the coffee places close in the airport early.
Yeah, the coffee places do close early. Well, I can understand, because they're probably the first things that open in the morning, and they're tired and they want to go home.
Nobody should have coffee after, like,
Yeah, and you shouldn't be having caffeine at 5 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. Even if you are going to an earlier time zone like we are. Hi, okay, update. We all got something to eat. Ben and I got Wendy's. Megan walked a little farther to the big food court in the airport here in Terminal 1 and got Shake Shack. And we are going to be starting to board any minute. As you can see behind me, it has gotten dark. It gets dark about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock in January in Wisconsin or Minnesota. Our flight is full, And so a little while ago, they did call and ask for volunteers to gate check their carry-on luggage. And so I took advantage of that because we didn't want to carry on these suitcases anyway. We were hoping to check them, but I didn't want to pay $80 to do that. I ran up there and gate checked our 2 little suitcases, so now we don't have to carry those on and worry about those being in the overhead bin. So we really prefer to have our hands free and have as little as possible, like just our backpacks when we're on the plane. I just want to comment really quick about the situation with masks. And part of the reason I want to bring this up is because I recently got a comment on one of my videos from a viewer who watched one of our videos from Boston in March of 2022. And they commented, I was going to subscribe to your channel, but then I saw you were still wearing masks in 2022. So I did. Megan's making a shocked face. So they decided not to subscribe to my channel because we were wearing masks in our video. Okay, I deleted the comment because it doesn't add anything to the, conversation in my YouTube community. But I just thought that was funny. And the reason I think it was funny, because at the time that video was filmed, masks were still required on public transportation in Boston. And I think they were required in airports. Well, I don't know about all airports, but some airports they were still required, and they might have been required in the place that we were visiting that video was about. And so I just thought that was funny that someone was so presumptuous to assume that you absolutely never have to wear a mask in the present day. Right. You should always have masks with you and be prepared that you might have to wear it somewhere. Right. Megan said, let's take a look at Asian countries again. Here at the Minneapolis airport, I just walking through, coming back from the restroom, I counted, and I would say about 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 4 people are wearing one. I'm sitting away from everybody right now. The person nearest me has one on. This is what I can tell you, like in generalizations. One is the more urban area you're in, the bigger city, the more likely you are to see people wearing them. Secondly, you will see more people wearing them on airplanes and on public transportation almost everywhere than any place else. And thirdly, if you're in a blue state, you're much more likely to see a lot of people, Minnesota's a pretty blue state, to see them than if you're in a red state. Internationally, the same rules kind of apply. Like Megan said, Asia, it's very common cultural thing that people wear masks all the time, everywhere, way before the pandemic. And in Europe, where do you say we saw the most? London? Yeah, London, lots of people still wore them. Hardly anybody in Switzerland. Not so much in Paris, but some on public transportation, and that was in summer. Ben just said, they're so healthy and the air is so fresh in the Alps, they don't need them there. Which actually kind of felt like that. But you should be prepared. Lots of people still wear masks for lots of reasons. There are other reasons that people wear masks besides COVID. We've decided we don't like being sick ever. And there's lots of other sicknesses that are carried by respiratory droplets, colds, flu, the next pandemic, because it's coming, folks. And allergies, they're great for allergies. And remember too that there's still a lot of immunocompromised people that need protection. So you shouldn't be surprised that people are still wearing masks. And it's actually kind of silly if you would assume that people wouldn't be. And you also need to be prepared when you travel that there are still places where they're going to be required and you're going to have to put one on. Not to mention healthcare facilities. I don't know of any clinic or hospital anywhere in the United States that isn't still requiring everybody to wear them. So just something to think about. If you assume that it's just all done and you're not going to see these ever again, that's not true. So when you gate check, you bring it down the jetway and you leave it here by the door, and then they come get it and put it under the plane. We're pretty sure we're on a brand new plane, or like a very new plane. It's only a 3-2 configuration, 3 seats here and 2 over there. And this is the smallest plane we've been on in a while. Just kind of interesting, and maybe because it's flying to a smaller airport. Just a note, if you're traveling in the upper Midwest of the United States in the winter, the jetway is really, really cold. The gate agents are all wearing big, heavy winter coats.
It's warm on the plane though.
Yeah, it's very warm on the plane. It's actually a little too warm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like look at these lights and stuff. These are really brand new and
Look
nice.
at the wings, so shiny. There's no scuffs or anything.
Oh yeah.
That's my treasure box.
Also, they're not giving out, the last couple of flights we've been on, they're not giving out wipes anymore. Now this plane was exceptionally clean. This is the cleanest I've seen a plane in probably the last 10 flights. Yeah. I think part of that might be because it's new, but part of it is because the plane was sitting here for at least 2 hours. Be aware that if you, in a lot of cases, and this isn't a COVID thing, this is just a sanitary thing, you're gonna wanna wipe down your surfaces at your seat most of the time anyway, because the plane cleaners sometimes have as little as 6 minutes to turn over that plane. And so the main thing that they're really doing is picking up trash, getting trash out of the seat pockets, and vacuuming, and that's it. So if you really want to make sure that you're not touching any germs and dirt even and stuff, you're going to want to be prepared to wipe down your seat, because they're not handing out wipes anymore when you get on the plane. This is such an interesting travel day. We're learning so much today. Okay, we had a problem. Megan's screen doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. And we asked the flight attendant about it, and she said they tried to reset it. They're like, I've explained this in a previous video because Ben had one that didn't work one time. Yeah. They can reset them like a computer. They have to do it once we take off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But she said they tried on the previous flight to reset this one twice.
3 times.
3 times, and it wouldn't reset. She wanted to move the people to a different seat, but like us, they were a family of 3 and there was no place she could move them. So she already knew this was a problem. She apologized, and she gave Megan how much?
15,000.
15,000 Delta Sky Miles
Hello, everyone.
for her inconvenience.
All our special.
We also asked about, you may have seen there's a promotion, a lot of advertising right now that Delta is giving free Wi-Fi on all their flights to Sky Miles members. So we asked about that, but it's very new, and it was a different flight attendant. He told us that it's rolling out like over time and depends on the aircraft. And you can't log into the Delta Wi-Fi until we push back from the gate, right?
Yeah.
So Megan, it's too soon, we haven't pushed back yet. So once we do, if she can use that, then she can just do stuff on her phone, which would be really nice. So just something to be aware of, that if you've seen, advertising for that or stuff in the news about that, it might not be on your plane yet. We were supposed to take off 15 minutes ago.
See this?
Yeah. We'll just use the brightness of Megan's screen that she can't turn off for light. We were supposed to take off 15 minutes ago, but we're still taxiing. Ben said it looks like we're in a queue. I feel like they had the heat on.
That's what I just said.
We have arrived at John Wayne Airport. We like this airport. It's very small size and very manageable. It's about almost 9 o'clock at night here. We have to go get our rental car, and then we're just driving to a very nearby hotel. I got 2 rooms. It's a Hampton Inn, I think. And then we're just going to sleep tonight, and then we will drive to the cruise port at the Port of Los Angeles tomorrow. So thank you for joining us for this travel day video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos from this trip, from this cruise. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Have a great night, everyone. Safe travels.